Welcome to Biography with Plutarch, where we delve into the lives of fascinating individuals to uncover the intricacies of human character. Today, we embark on a captivating journey through the life of Peter Sellers, a master of comedic genius and a complex figure whose multifaceted personality has intrigued audiences for generations. Born Richard Henry Sellers on September 8, 1925, in Southsea, Hampshire, England, Peter Sellers would grow to become one of the most beloved and iconic comedians of his time, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire and entertain people around the world. As we step into the early life of Peter Sellers, we find ourselves in the midst of a traditional British family, with his father, William Sellers, working as a jeweler and his mother, Agnes, being a homemaker. The Sellers family resided in a modest home above their jewelry shop on Portsmouth Road, where young Peter's earliest memories would be shaped by the sounds of laughter, music, and the occasional visit from his uncle, who would regale him with tales of adventure and comedy. This blend of warmth, creativity, and playfulness laid the foundation for Peter's future as a performer, as he would often sneak into the shop below to watch his father work, mesmerized by the way he could craft beautiful pieces of jewelry that brought joy to their customers. The historical context of Peter Sellers' early years was marked by the tumultuous period leading up to World War II. As Britain prepared for the impending war, the nation's mood was one of uncertainty and apprehension. Air raid drills became a regular occurrence, and the sound of sirens filled the air, a constant reminder of the looming threat of conflict. Yet, within the Sellers household, Peter's parents sought to shield him from the shadows of war, fostering an environment that encouraged his imagination and creativity. It was during these formative years that Peter developed a deep affection for radio comedies, particularly the shows of ITMA, It's That Man Again, which featured a cast of eccentric characters that would later influence his own comedic style. He would often gather around the wireless with his family, listening to the antics of Tommy Handley and his cohorts, and began to mimic the voices and characters he heard, laying the groundwork for his remarkable talent for vocal impressions. As Peter's love for comedy grew, so did his fascination with the world of entertainment. He would spend hours poring over books on magic and ventriloquism, teaching himself tricks and illusions that he would later incorporate into his acts. His parents, recognizing his unique talents, encouraged his interest in music and comedy, providing him with a drum set and supporting his early forays into entertainment. Peter's mother, Agnes, was particularly instrumental in nurturing his creative side, often taking him to the local theater to watch performances and encouraging him to participate in school plays. This nurturing environment played a significant role in shaping Peter's confidence as a performer and his understanding of the power of laughter to bring joy to others. Peter's education commenced at a local primary school, where he struggled with traditional academic subjects but excelled in areas that allowed him to express his creativity. His teachers would often comment on his boundless energy and imagination, which sometimes got him into trouble, but also made him a beloved member of the class. His parents, recognizing his unique strengths, encouraged his interest in music and comedy, providing him with opportunities to develop his talents outside of school. This support was instrumental in shaping Peter's confidence as a performer and his understanding of the power of laughter to bring joy to others. As Peter entered his teenage years, he became increasingly fascinated with the world of entertainment, often sneaking into local theaters to watch performances and study the techniques of comedians and actors. He would sit in the back row, mesmerized by the spotlights and the roar of the audience, imagining himself on stage, making people laugh and cry. This self-directed education, combined with his natural talent and the support of his family, set him on a path that would eventually lead him to become one of the most recognizable comedic voices of his generation. The seeds of his future success were sown in these early years, as Peter Sellers began to develop the unique blend of humor, wit, and vulnerability that would captivate audiences worldwide. One particular anecdote from this period stands out, showcasing Peter's budding talent for comedy. During a school play, Peter was tasked with playing the role of a hapless servant, but he had other plans. Instead of following the script, he began to improvise, incorporating his own brand of physical comedy and witty one-liners into the performance. The audience erupted into laughter, and Peter's teachers were shocked by his raw talent. This moment marked a turning point in Peter's life, as he realized that he had the power to make people laugh, and that comedy could be a powerful tool for bringing joy to others. In these formative years, we see the emergence of a complex character, shaped by the influences of family, culture, and historical context. Peter Sellers' early life was a tapestry woven from threads of love, creativity, and resilience, each strand playing its part in creating the rich and multifaceted personality that would soon take the world by storm. As Peter Sellers entered his early 20s, a spark within him ignited, fueling an unrelenting pursuit of a career in entertainment. It was as if the curtain had finally risen on the stage of his life, and he was determined to make every moment count. In 1943, he joined the prestigious Cambridge University Footlights Drama Society, where he honed his craft alongside fellow future luminaries such as Leslie Bricusse and Cyril Luckham. The Society's historic clubhouse, with its worn wooden floors and faded theatrical posters, became a second home to Peter, a place where he could experiment, take risks, and nurture his unique brand of humor. This period marked a significant turning point in Peter's life, as he began to develop the distinctive comedic voice that would soon become the hallmark of his style. He spent hours observing people, studying their mannerisms, and mastering their accents, all of which would later become an integral part of his impressive repertoire of characters. The Footlights Society provided a fertile ground for Peter to explore his creativity, and he threw himself into various productions, writing, directing, and performing with reckless abandon. In 1946, Peter began performing with the Ralph Reeder Gang Show, a popular entertainment troupe that toured Britain, bringing laughter and joy to troops and civilians alike. The show's energetic mix of music, dance, and comedy proved to be the perfect platform for Peter to showcase his talents, and he quickly became an audience favorite. It was during this time that he met his future collaborator and friend, Spike Milligan, a kindred spirit with whom he shared a passion for pushing the boundaries of humor. The two men formed a strong bond, united by their love of absurdity, wordplay, and innovative comedy. As they traveled from town to town, performing in makeshift theaters, community centers, and even military bases, Peter and Spike would often spend hours brainstorming new ideas, sharing stories, and laughing together until their sides ached. These late-night conversations, fueled by coffee, cigarettes, and an insatiable desire to create something original, laid the foundation for some of the most iconic comedic characters and sketches of the era. One notable performance from this period took place on November 10, 1948, when Peter appeared at the prestigious Windmill Theatre in London. As part of the show, he performed a series of impressions and sketches, showcasing his remarkable versatility as a performer. The Windmill's ornate auditorium, with its crimson seats and gilded balconies, was packed to capacity that evening, and Peter's performance left the audience in awe. This event marked an important milestone in Peter's career, as it brought him to the attention of influential figures in the entertainment industry, who began to take notice of his unique talent. In the early 1950s, Peter began to make a name for himself on British radio, appearing in various comedy shows and programs that catered to a wide range of audiences. His big break came in 1951 when he joined the cast of The Goon Show, a revolutionary radio comedy series created by Spike Milligan. Alongside Milligan and Harry Seckham, Peter formed a comedic trio that would become synonymous with innovative and absurdist humor. As The Goon Show gained popularity, Peter's unique voice and comedic style became an integral part of the program's success. His characters, such as Blue Bottle and Major Bloodknock, are still remembered fondly by fans today for their outrageous antics, clever wordplay, and sheer unadulterated madness. The show's blend of surreal humor, clever writing, and outrageous characters helped to establish Peter as a leading figure in British comedy, and his name became synonymous with laughter and innovation. In 1957, Peter made his film debut in the comedy The Case of the Muckanees Battlehorn, directed by Joseph Sterling. Although the film was not a major commercial success, it marked an important step in Peter's transition from radio to screen. Over the next few years, he appeared in a string of films, including I'm All Right, Jack, 1959, and the Running, Jumping, and Standing Still film, 1960, which showcased his growing versatility as a comedic actor. As the 1960s dawned, Peter's career continued to gain momentum. He formed a close friendship with director Stanley Kubrick, who would later cast him in the iconic role of Group Captain Lionel Mandrake in Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, 1964. The film's dark humor, coupled with Peter's impeccable timing and delivery, resulted in a performance that is still widely regarded as one of the greatest comedic turns in cinema history. In 1963, Peter starred alongside Peter O'Toole in the title role of The Ruling Class, a film that showcased his incredible range and depth as an actor. His portrayal of Jack Arnold Alexander Tancred Gurney, the 14th Earl of Gurney, earned him critical acclaim and cemented his status as one of the most talented comedic actors of his generation. As Peter's star continued to rise, he found himself in increasing demand, both on stage and screen. He appeared in a string of successful films, including The Wrong Box, 1966, and How to Steal a Million, 1966, and his name became synonymous with laughter and joy. Throughout this period, Peter's personal life was marked by a series of intense relationships and friendships that often blurred the lines between reality and fiction. His marriage to Anne Hayes, a beautiful and talented actress, was filled with passion, creativity, and a deep love for one another. Together, they formed a formidable partnership, both on and off stage, and their relationship became an inspiration to those around them. As Peter navigated the complexities of fame, he found solace in his craft, constantly seeking new ways to challenge himself and push the boundaries of comedy. His was a life lived at breakneck speed, filled with laughter, tears, and an unrelenting passion for creativity. And as the curtains closed on another day, Peter would often smile to himself, knowing that he had left an indelible mark on the world of entertainment, a legacy that would continue to inspire generations to come. In the midst of this whirlwind, Peter remained committed to his art, always seeking new ways to innovate and surprise. His was a journey without a destination, a constant quest for laughter, joy, and connection with others. As he looked out into the audience, his eyes twinkling with mischief, he knew that he had found his true calling, to bring happiness to others, one joke at a time. His name had become synonymous with laughter, and he knew that as long as he continued to push the boundaries of comedy, he would always have an audience waiting to be delighted. As Peter Sellers' career continued to soar, he found himself navigating the complexities of fame with increasing difficulty. The pressures of his profession, coupled with his own personal demons, began to take a toll on his mental and physical health. The constant scrutiny of the public eye, the endless demands of his fans, and the weight of expectation from his peers, all contributed to a sense of suffocation that threatened to consume him. Despite these challenges, he remained committed to his craft, always seeking new ways to innovate and surprise. His passion for comedy was unwavering, and he spent hours poring over scripts, refining his characters, and perfecting his timing. In 1975, he starred in The Return of the Pink Panther, which marked a triumphant return to the iconic role of Inspector Clouseau. These films showcase Sellers' remarkable ability to blend physical comedy with clever wit, and his portrayal of Clouseau remains one of the most beloved and iconic characters in cinematic history. As Sellers delved deeper into the world of Clouseau, he began to explore the complexities of the character's psyche. He saw Clouseau as a reflection of himself, a man torn between his desire for order and his tendency towards chaos. This introspection allowed Sellers to tap into a deep well of creativity, and his performances became increasingly nuanced and multifaceted. The Pink Panther series also provided Sellers with an opportunity to collaborate with some of the most talented comedians and writers of his time, including Blake Edwards and Frank Waldman. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, Sellers' health began to decline, and he suffered a series of heart attacks. These setbacks were a stark reminder of his own mortality, and he was forced to confront the reality of his fragile existence. Despite these challenges, he continued to work, driven by his passion for comedy and his desire to leave a lasting legacy. He became increasingly reclusive, surrounding himself with a small circle of trusted friends and family, and pouring all his energy into his craft. In 1980, he starred in Being There, a film that would prove to be one of his most iconic roles. His portrayal of Chance, a simple-minded gardener who becomes embroiled in the world of politics, earned him critical acclaim and cemented his status as one of the greatest comedic actors of all time. The film was a masterpiece of satire, with Sellers' performance at its core. He brought a sense of innocence and wonder to the role, and his character's naivety served as a powerful commentary on the absurdity of modern politics. As Sellers looked back on his life and career, he reflected on the importance of laughter and the impact it had had on his own life. "Laughter is the best medicine," he once said, "and I've been fortunate enough to have been able to prescribe it to millions of people around the world." These words capture the essence of Sellers' approach to comedy, which was always focused on bringing joy and happiness to others. He believed that laughter had the power to transcend borders, cultures, and languages, and he spent his career spreading its universal message. Peter Sellers passed away on July 24, 1980, at the age of 54, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire and delight audiences to this day. His impact on the world of comedy is immeasurable, and his influence can be seen in countless comedians and actors who have followed in his footsteps. From Monty Python to The Simpsons, Sellers' unique brand of humor has been emulated and admired by generations of comedians. In the years since his passing, Sellers' legacy has only continued to grow. His films remain beloved classics, and his influence can be seen in everything from the absurdity of Airplane to the satire of South Park. He was posthumously awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and in 1998, he was named one of the greatest comedians of all time by the British Film Institute. His impact on the world of entertainment is still felt today, and his films continue to delight audiences around the world. Sellers' story serves as a powerful reminder that comedy can be both a source of joy and a means of social commentary. His legacy continues to inspire new generations of comedians, actors, and writers, and his influence will be felt for years to come. That's all for today's Biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.